SunnyRedemption filling your totally not owned by aliens gas station for BS-free gaming news. While we set up the store, why don't you let me know what you've been playing lately?
Mostly been playing a lot of older stuff like Xbox 360 and PS2 original Xbox games, because I'm still just, buying them on the cheap when I can. And besides that, for newer stuff, I've been playing Absalom mostly because it just came to Game Pass.
I've been wondering how that is because I've been curious to check that out.
It's very, very good. It's very much feels like a spiritual successor to Streets of Rage 4 because it's developed by the same people. So
okay. Yeah, that's the trouble with
has-
beat 'em ups is being compared to the OG. I just opened
Yeah,
the store,
I mean,
by
but
the way.
this-
Whichever station you want, it's fine.
Oh, I like the register. I can do the register unless you want to do it.
I'm totally fine with the gas station.
Okay. The one thing I still haven't fully gotten a handle on is the actual alien mechanics.
Yeah,
of it
well,
all. I understand the stocking the store and the register and stuff. I've played games like that before.
and
I
works in
just-
stores too, so.
I don't fully understand the
Well, you're gonna hate me.
taking
I already
pictures
made it
and-
harder.
Oh, great.
Because
Okay,
I put...
we're already at the sabotage level. Oh god, we're in the red now.
That's because I
Oh.
took pictures of people in the front of their faces. I am
Okay.
just feeling like a stinker today. But,
Okay, so to get that meter down, do we just have to just act inconspicuous for a little bit?
yeah, but we can also
Okay.
shoot them.
I see it slowly draining, so I think okay.
We can also just let them sabotage, but here, have a blaster just in case you want to blast them, and I will pick up a memory wiper.
Yep.
I mean, we managed to do it last time, so it is doable. But not essentially very intuitive when by yourself. Anyway, so there's games I've been playing, and then there's games I've been out in the real world playing. On Switch 2, it's been Lego City Undercover and Super Mario Galaxy, and I've been enjoying those as fun little games to play with the volume off. For Xbox, it's been mainly Super Meat Boy 3D.
Yeah, I tried that. I played through the first world, and I don't know, I did like the original Super Meat Boy, but it's not like I remember doing basically all the challenges in that game and getting all the dark world levels and stuff. I just don't know if I have it in me to go through that again.
That's very
3D.
fair.
So I played the first world. I beat some of the par times and stuff and got some of the secrets, but I did the first world and that was about enough for me.
Yeah, I'm very much trekking through the... I got plorbed!
What does that mean?
A car ran me over.
Oh.
Remember the goofy words they had last time when you got run over?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. As I was refilling the gas station, rude. Come on, human. Be more considerate for aliens invading your planet. By the way, check to see if there's any equipment with a bunch of flashing symbols around it. That's when they'll have sabotaged it. They sabotaged one of my security cameras. Is because I put 4 security cameras to watch people at all times. And people just jumped to conclusions and said I was an alien. Then on Steam, it's been Infinite Wealth. I've got it back into that more finally. I just started chapter 9. So in another 2 years, I'll probably finish this game at this rate. But, well, it's worth finishing because even though I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, I got invested very quickly. Again, a lot of this is probably because at the beginning of each chapter, people kind of sum up the stakes and conversations beforehand because there is so much sprawling. But I also felt a little bit of relief to be with Kasuga again. It was like, wow, it's been months since I checked in on him. Not that I don't like what they're going for with Kasuga, but as I mentioned, it's just not as weighty for me, just because I haven't played 6 or 7 games beforehand. For people who really do like that stuff, or really, it's just, oh, I have to breathe like a human.
Yeah, I'm in the same mini game.
I have to hit 15 times. Come on. Failure. Oh no! I've been hunted! Crap!
Wait, what?
I got exploded because I didn't breathe like a human, and
Oh,
now all of our
okay.
customers are gone.
Yeah, because on my screen I got the like pass like succeeded screen and then exploded.
Wait, it explodes you too?
Okay.
Guess you're stuck
So,
with whatever stupidity I get us into then. All it really
um,
does is lose us a couple of hours of customers. It's
okay.
fine. I'm raking in the dough after just uh, getting people to hand over more of their cash than is strictly necessary at market price.
Mhm.
Because of course I did. That's how you really blend in with humans is you rip them off with their money. Uh, and speaking of near ripoffs of money, liking Reunion well enough, but I'm really worried about how the two halves of the game will mesh. The half that everybody's been wanting to play for so long of Max and Chloe Reunion, so far, their interactions together are very wholesome. Almost a little bit too much considering the time that's passed and how acrimoniously they left things off, like with barely any
Mm,
contact. But
yeah.
you could also say the same thing about like why would Chloe be so, happy for Max to be here and etc. after she was abandoned with no contact for 5 years in Seattle. So it's like, I guess that's just life is strange at a certain point. What's
Mhm.
interesting is that you can actually control both of their choices in the conversation to try to shape their relationship.
Oh, huh.
Uh, I also
That's
got to
different.
see the back talk.
Mhm.
I guess it's just picking the right conversation choices to win, which is like that's kind of just my life. So
Mhm.
I'm so glad that you
The
scared me.
register. Yeah, I was just making sure you were on the register because I switched over to the pump.
I'm the owner of the store. Of course I'm on the register and the pump most of the time. You got to keep an eye on me in my own store. Anyway, yeah. So the back talk, I'm glad they allow you to skip that because it's just a stressful game mechanic for me, and yeah, I didn't care. I almost skipped a different sequence that was supposed to be tense, but once I realized, oh yeah, I can rewind this, it was a lot easier. There actually hasn't been a lot of necessity in rewinding though. Um, or back talk. I think it's still early hours, but I'm also 5.5 hours in.
Mhm.
And so I wonder how much there will actually be in terms of evolution of gameplay mechanics slash like mystery. I'm not sure, and I can't really get into too much detail without spoiling it anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to know too much because I'm still like three-quarters of the way through double exposure.
Well, that's the other half of the game. I am not really sure how everything revolving around double exposure side of Life is Strange, Caledon, Loretta, all these characters will actually pan out, or will they be overshadowed by everything? Or will Chloe feel like she's not really supposed to be here? I mean, for all the reviews that I'm reading are better than double exposure, so I imagine that they took a lot
Yeah,
of
that
writing
was
feedback
the
to
main
heart.
yeah, that was like the main gist of what I saw was like, well, they really righted the ship in a way because double exposure, I really liked the first two episodes, and by the time I was in the middle of the third one, I it started to lose me. And I'm still sort of like playing through it, but with a lot less motivation to
Yeah,
like
yeah, no,
see
I
it through.
I definitely have gotten through Reunion a lot faster than double exposure because
Yeah.
5.5 hours straight on is a lot better than trying to play the same 2 hours twice.
Mhm.
Now, maybe that was unfair, and maybe there was something there that was propulsive for a couple of episodes, but I just again did not really get involved or care so much about these other characters. I can kind of see what they're going for with Reunion if I had taken the time to invest in these characters, but again, this is a large part of the problem with Life is Strange that they're gonna need to fix now that they're um, moving on from Max and Chloe finally. It's what is Life is Strange outside of these two? And they haven't been able to figure that out for, let's see, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, 2, True Colors, The Adventures of Captain, what's his name? Um,
Yeah, Captain Spirit. Well, that was basically a prologue to Life is Strange
yeah,
too.
but it was definitely part of their MCUification of things, and I'm a bit worried about any other cameos from other Life is Strange games if they do somehow pursue that to some degree. Uh, but yeah, it that has been a lot of games to have an identity crisis with a franchise. And again, will people actually care beyond that? Again, I argue that it would have been nice if they had at least. Oh, I had to blink like a human. Oh boy. I thought this would be calmer than it actually is. Failure. Oh no, I'm getting blasted again.
Oh, oh,
Aw.
well, they got me too.
Well, I think it's just that we're so linked together. We're clones of the same dad. Uh,
Mhm.
I guess we're programmed to all self-destruct. Oh boy, that was a disaster. My bad. Both times. We'll just let the little robot clean up the floor and stuff. Um, okay, so yeah, that wraps up that piece of it because unfortunately I do think that this franchise may not go much of anywhere without these two characters.
I
But
mean, I'm fine with that. Like they've had a lot of games. Like I don't need the franchise to just go on forever if
no,
they're
that's
out of
true.
ideas.
It's just that like when these kinds of franchises run out of road, that's when people start losing their jobs. Um,
Yeah,
that's the only
and
thing for me.
and Deck Nine's already had tons of layoffs, so it's kind of like I guess if they're not going to keep going with that, they'll just hopefully find something else to do.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. Um, yeah, I guess we'll see how this franchise does, if at all, after reunion. In a happier note, the day before the world almost blew up, Monday, I went to play games in person at the Dave and
Yeah,
Busters in Silver
I
Spring.
didn't get a chance to watch your whole thing, but I did skim through it and saw some of the games and stuff.
Hey, totally fine. You're a very busy fellow. But my favorite and the one to play if you're ever back here for that is absolutely Cyberpunk Turf Wars. That was just such a
Yeah,
clever
I've seen
twist.
that. Yeah, I did see that. I want to say, where did I see that? It's relatively recent. I saw it in the past year somewhere, maybe in a mall.
Hmm,
But I didn't actually play it. So yeah, I want to try that at some point.
definitely. And I'm gonna be doing that again for my birthday in early May with my friends.
Cool.
So it'll be interesting to see how Dave and Buster's is with people. But I'm kind of nervous for the chain as a whole because it should have been way more packed than it was on March Madness, and it
Mm.
wasn't. I mean, some of this has to be the larger downturn in spending at all. I mean, $30 for unlimited wins and games means they had to try and drive some business through the door, even for March Madness, because normally they would have done like a $5 or $10 cover. I did that for one of the UFC fights. But at the same time, there's also structural issues pertaining to uh, Dave and Buster's itself that are a real concern for me, including how slow the kitchen was despite the lack of people there. I'm not going to blame the kitchen or get angry. The food that came out, the wings, were good. And I got a really good deal on it for all of that. 24 wings for $30, even if I hadn't played games at all, was a really good deal. But the other problem was that the drink promotion that was on screen for $5 margaritas was not real, and that was confusing. And
Oh,
also, um, the games had some issues. Like, I just could not get Big Buck Hunter HD to work at all. After someone had played the game just fine with the reticle and everything, anywhere I aimed the shotgun, it just wouldn't work. And then there was that other awful game, Elevator Action Invasion. I'm not terribly upset that I didn't get to play much of it because it was just bad as a game and very predatory of swipes, I suppose, even without any issues. But having a cursor point right where you're pointing the light gun is like light gun game 101. And
Yeah.
it couldn't do that. Speaking of doing stuff, can you help me unload the truck, please?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's not great to have to point your gun all the way to the right so that the cursor that's pointing all the way to the left can work at all. Again, I'll let you know how it is around my birthday. I'll have clips of that. Part of the break that I did manage to get while I was up in New York was finally going to see Project Hail Mary, which I'm also read slash listening to right now to
Mhm.
kind of understand the differences more and really think about the movie. And well, the movie necessarily needed to gloss over a lot of things. Um, because with the book, I am enjoying it, but a lot of the flashbacks are like, here's this random new character that we invented in this field of blah 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 so that they can exposit at you for 5 minutes. And I feel like the
Mhm.
movie did manage to do that a bit more naturally, but I also understood why people were laughing just about 95% of the time I wasn't for some reason. Maybe it's because a lot of the jokes relied on Ryan Gosling fell down, haha. Um, or maybe it's that the uh other half of the jokes were a lot about, oh, this alien is not understanding things, and that there's no ill intention that I'm accusing anyone of, but that is often a trope associated with neurodivergent people. And, on the one hand, I love it because then it feels like I'm being represented. But on the other hand, is this really a necessary stereotype to always go to the well of? Um, I don't know. It's a thorny question. But where the movie nailed it was definitely the production design and the action and emotion when it got to that point. Because again, a lot of the humor was very slimmed down for people in the back. And speaking of which, there was that phenomenon again of people just disrespecting movie theaters. Um,
Yeah, it's been rough the past few years.
there was a guy to my right during the movie talking to his wife constantly. Why? You're not in your
I
home
don't know.
movie theater. That's so stupid.
I I wish I could tell you, like, it's the same up here, it's just people
I've
with
forgotten how to
no
be
sense
civilized.
of, like, decorum or, like, upholding any part of the social contract of a movie theater.
Or just anything. Maybe the reason why Gen Zers are the most movie going demographic is because they can bring all their friends and shout chicken jockey or whatever. Um, I mean, that's probably like young Gen Z or early Gen Alpha more actually. Um, Clearly, I don't go out to movies with tons of friends anymore, but I still don't remember shouting random shit.
Yeah,
All right,
like,
I think we can open anyway.
okay.
So, speaking of real world adventures, get super nerdy with it, please. On your trips to LA.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can get as granular as you want with that. I mean, I can just run through it
Sure,
day by day.
because
It's
there's a
been
lot
almost 2
of.
weeks at this point, so my memories are going a little fuzzy on some of the finer details, but oh, do you want me to man the pump this time
Yeah, sure.
again? Okay. Alright, yeah, so I went to LA, I did Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags Magic Mountain, then 2 days at Disneyland. That was just, like, kind of a whirlwind. I had very, very little downtime. I initially, my impetus for the trip was just for like a VTuber concert called Drawn to Dawn, and so I was like, well, why don't I just make a whole trip out of it? I've been always wanting to do the theme parks on the West Coast. I've never been out there, so I was like, okay, I can do 2 days at Disney, a day at Knott's, and then a day at Magic Mountain pretty easily. They were all pretty easy driving distance within like 45 minutes of each other. So just rented a car and started with Knott's. And I also stayed at the Knott's Hotel, which I was incredibly impressed with. And that
Oh.
was also extremely convenient because literally it's a 500-foot walk from the hotel into the park. So that was very, very nice to do. And they have a free shuttle to and from Disneyland. You just have to give them the time that you want to be picked up. They have like different, basically every 2 hours they run a shuttle
Really?
to and from Disneyland. And so I basically, on my Disneyland days, I went into the park at 8 a.m. and got a shuttle back at 11 p.m.
Well, I can
So
kind of
very
see
long
why,
days.
because Walt Disney visited Knott's Berry multiple times.
Oh yeah, and I made sure to do all the. I rode the Knott's train that inspired Disney. I did the mine ride at Knott's that inspired him in terms
Nice.
of animatronics and stuff, or like not necessarily animatronics, but like themed elements, I guess, within a ride.
Cool.
Yeah, so Knott's was great. I did all the major rides there except for a ride called Montezuma's Revenge, which is down for refurbishment. It's been down for like 4 years now,
Whoa.
and they're finally getting around to fixing it up. Yeah, so Knott's was great. It was a very, small scale park, like, 8 or so major coasters.
Oh,
All of them were pretty solid, except for some expected roughness on some of the older ones. But yeah, great park. We'll definitely go back again at some point if I'm ever down there. Not like priority number one, but yeah. And the second day was just a full, very full day at Disneyland. And
oh,
I don't have a
nice.
ton, like, I could run down every single ride I rode. I don't know if that would be the most entertaining thing. I'll just say, like, overall, like, it was pretty much what I expected it to be because I've been, looking at pictures and videos of Disney for most of my life. Disneyland. I've been to Disney World plenty of times. So it was an interesting sort of point of comparison to see the differences and similarities. But
Maybe you
yeah,
focus on some of
Disneyland.
the differences then, because I can
I
pretty
mean,
much grok
Disneyland.
most of the similarities. I've been to
Yeah.
Disney World
So
often enough.
yeah. So Disneyland is just sort of like going into it with a lot of familiarity of the Magic Kingdom. It just feels like a prototype of the Magic Kingdom where everything just feels a little bit smaller,
Huh.
especially like, the castle is like tiny compared to Cinderella Castle in Magic Kingdom. It feels like a third of the size, even though it's probably more like half the size. But I don't think they had the forced perspective down completely there.
Huh.
Um, yeah, so like walking around the castle, I was just like, oh man, this
Oh
feels
no, I'm
like
being inspected for
barely.
being an alien. Speaking of magical places on Earth. Anyway, sorry. You were saying.
Yeah, so the castle feels like barely bigger than my house when I'm just like up next to it. It's so weird feeling. They do have the second park, California Adventure, so it's kind of like you kind of go over to that park, and that park almost feels like a mini Hollywood Studios. And it is also nice that, they're right across. There's like kind of a thing called the Esplanade in the middle of them, and it's, a couple hundred feet to walk between the parks, as opposed to Disney World where you have to hop on buses or whatever.
Did you go
So
into California Adventure at all? It
oh
doesn't
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Oh, you
So
did.
so
Okay.
I ended up upgrading to the park hopper at the last minute because at first I was like, well, I'll just do one day at Disneyland, one day at California Adventure. But already, as I was entering the park, I saw some of the lines at Disneyland, and I was like, all right, I'm going to just upgrade for like $50 to the park hopper for both days. So yeah, I hop between the parks pretty often, like at least 2 or 3 times a day,
Wow.
just to maximize my efficiency in getting on every ride that I wanted to.
Action
Yeah, and
packed.
and California Adventure, it's again, I remember following theme parks when it was like, relatively new and was kind of the laughing stock of the industry, just because it had a very rough first decade back in the like
Yeah.
early 2000s, but they've done a lot to it. and I have to say, like, I I think the standout for me was definitely the Cars ride, Radiator Springs Racers. Like, I don't even have much affinity for Cars as a franchise. I was a little old for it when it came out, but in terms of like the the quality of like the animatronics and the theming, it's just like, oh, this is only really Disney and to some extent Universal can do theming like this. It's still just mind-blowingly impressive.
Well,
And that was the one ride that I also paid for like an extra fast pass for. Like, I did do the park wide fast pass, which you pay extra for, and then they have single ride fast passes for the most popular rides. And I was like, you know what? I'm I'm here. I'll just pay the like $20 to be able to do this ride. It sucks, but I'm just gonna pay it because I'm here now. And my options were wait in a 3 hour line and
what?
waste a quarter of my day, or just you know pay the money. And I was like, well, I made the flight out here. I'm just gonna pay the money. It's not like I'm a local or a regular.
Ah, this is how Disney
I
gets you.
don't. Yeah, and I don't plan on coming back to Disneyland at least for a couple years at the very very least.
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of the end point of what I would say about Disneyland is I'm extremely glad that I did it, but I'm definitely more of a Disney World person. Like, there's just more to do. It's more spread out. Like, that's like a full week vacation. Disneyland, the park was fairly crowded, especially on the second day, and I managed to do every ride that I wanted. So, like, that's more of a 2 or 3 day excursion at the most.
Ah,
But yeah, it's the only thing. I did get a little lucky too, I would say, because I think I only had one ride breakdown where like I had a fast pass for a ride and it broke down and I had to like reschedule it. And that was for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which again I would have been okay skipping because I've already ridden the one in Orlando. That's basically identical. But that was like the one hiccup I ran into was one breakdown. So over the course of 2 days, that's pretty good track record.
yeah.
And then I rode Haunted Mansion twice because the first time I rode it, um, basically it was like stop starting every 5 seconds,
Oh
probably due
no.
to loading and unloading issues. Like, something with some probably just kids not knowing how to exit the ride or something.
Oh gosh.
So I ended up hopping back in line and waiting another 15 minutes to get a proper ride on it. So those are literally the only two operational like problems that I ever had at Disneyland. So I was very impressed by that part. And then I did the next day, I basically blocked out about 6 hours to try to do everything I could at Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain, which like I get in there for free because I have a Six Flags pass. I also got into Knott's Berry Farm for free. So it was a
Oh,
very economical
right.
trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, because they
So
are
the
part
only
of the same
tickets I had to pay
franchise now.
for was Disneyland, although those were plenty expensive. Um
Oof.
yeah, and Six Flags Magic Mountain, like the stereotype I think I mentioned to you off stream at some point, like it's basically just a parking lot with roller coasters. It's an extremely true stereotype. That's been the stereotype of it since I've been, following theme parks. Literally, there are some coasters that um were put into places where existing parking lots were, and they didn't even bother removing like the parking lines. So I
What?
was riding one of them and just like I'm looking down below me and I just see a 20-year-old defunct parking lot below me. So, people are not there. That park is very much a amusement park versus a theme park. That's like the distinction there. They are not there to have themed entertainment. They're there for roller coaster junkies to ride the big coasters.
Yeah,
But
just
again, this is another thing where like I think my trip was just incredibly lucky because I got on all 16 of their major operating roller coasters in about 4 hours. So I undershot the amount of time I needed and overshot the amount of rides I was able to get on by a lot. Because
wow.
I thought, oh, maybe I'll get on half of them in like 6 hours if the park's crowded, but it was not crowded and all the rides were working. So
Oh wow.
very, very, very lucky.
Yeah, I did not
Especially
realize
with
how
with
lucky.
um yeah, with X2, by the way, that is I think I might have either told you or texted you about this. Like X2 is again, I forget what my roller coaster count is up to, but it's in the several hundreds at this point. Um, I've ridden a lot of roller coasters. That's like top 3 most insane rides I've ever been on,
Whoa. Yeah,
for
I'm gonna
sure.
take your word for it because the most intense roller coaster I did in the past few years was Phoenix at Six Flags
Oh,
America,
oh
and
yeah,
it, that was too intense for me. I
mhm,
took one look at Superman and was like, no, just no.
yeah,
So, for you to say that's insane, and you've got it on way more roller coasters than me,
yeah.
then yeah, that's
Like, I wasn't on the verge of, like, chickening out or anything, but I was looking at it go as I was waiting in line, and again, this is a coaster that's very prone to, like, breakdowns, very unreliable, but I
uh-oh.
happened to catch it at a time where it only had a 20-minute wait, which is very rare. So I was looking up while I was in line, I was like, "What's the typical wait for this ride?" And people were like, "Yeah, it's usually, like, a 30 to 60-minute wait on a good day." So,
Whoa.
yeah, but I was watching the ride go, and I'm just like, I this is this is just unreal because I've heard so much about this coaster since I was a little kid too, and just like it's such a
Oh,
love it or hate it ride among coaster enthusiasts. So I was really curious what I would think, and I'm definitely on the love it side. But
okay.
it's less of like I love it, like I do like it a lot, but it's so unique and interesting as a ride because it's what it's doing is it's flipping you into on an independent controlled axis as you're going through inversions on the coaster track. And so that just creates very bizarre sensations where like you're expecting to be flung one way and then suddenly it tilts you and you're going through like basically a heartline roll, which is like flipping you upside down and twisting you. But then their seat is twisting in a controlled manner, which just makes you feel weightless for a good 5 seconds. It's crazy. Or the
Wow.
inverse, where it's pushing crazy G forces on you for a few seconds. And like, but it's doing it more than just like the like lateral forces that you're used to when you're
Oh.
riding a coaster. It feels more like an astronaut training simulator. It's nuts.
Oh, speaking of which, Artemis splashed down today, and
Yeah, yeah.
man,
I watched at least the actual splashdown happen.
the fact that we could go back to the moon in my lifetime is amazing. Um,
Yeah,
and this time to stay is what they say. I guess we'll see what the follow through is with this administration on
yeah.
anything. But I'm liking where NASA's going with Jared Isaac, and even though he was appointed by the human blob, um, let me just get some more ice cream because clearly these humans cannot get enough of it, and
Yep.
maybe some
I'm
more
filling up
water
the
oil
gas
bags.
pumps.
Cool.
We're definitely going to need more of pretty much every type of fuel.
Okie
At least
doke then.
one barrel.
Speaking of turmoil, though, um, I'm just glad that you were able to, I guess, not be totally brutalized by gas prices in California. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean it was bad, but I didn't have to do too much driving. I
Yeah.
think by the time I went to fill up before I returned the rental, I still had like a little over half a tank, so I think I ended up paying like $30 for gas. I filled up it was like $6 a gallon. So
Yeah.
could have been worse, but I kind of needed to get a rental. You public transit in LA is not great. So I was
Oh
like,
boy.
well, I'm like when I go to like somewhere like New York, I basically just drop my car at the nearest garage and do the subway, but not as much of an option in LA.
Looking forward to you coming to DC at some point because our transit is much improving at the
Yeah.
moment. Oh yeah. Um. Well, we got confirmation an Xbox and Gears E-Day showcase.
Yeah,
I'm super stoked about that. It'll be nice to
I am
hear
too.
more of their plans concretely. I mean, we've already got some games that are very much locked in for this year, uh,
Mhm,
and that will be a big focus for them. Um, Fable almost certainly is going to get featured a lot, um,
mhm.
because like why wouldn't it be? It's coming out in the fall, and well, Gears. I can't wait
Mhm.
to hear what's finally happening with that. I mean, it is a prequel, but I imagine that they're gonna do the flash forward a little bit at the end to show really who canonically survives the end of Gears 5. I mean, it has to be JD, right? Like, it can't be that other guy that we don't really know.
Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, he seems nice, but like, why would you do Marcus like that twice? At least
Yeah.
without another game intervening. Um, I mean, that's the only thing I really remember about Gears 5 is that very dumb multiple choice ending. At least at this rate, after how long it's been. I enjoyed it when I played it at the time. It wasn't a bad game. It just felt like, oh, well, now you've gotten from okay to very competent. And if we're all stocked up, we can open.
All right.
Um, but like,
What do you want to do? You want to do the pump this time?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, I am pumped for the pump. Let me just see. But I've been reminiscing a lot about Forza Horizon because I am super stoked for that to be my birthday game. I'm hoping they have a specific deep dive thing right before launch because that'll be really cool. Um, the map looks really interesting. The demos that people have been playing have said that it necessarily narrows the scope a bit, which is perfect. I'm like, smaller
Mhm.
game, please. Thank you. Smaller map. Thank you. More interesting and linear progression structure that doesn't just treat you like the hero of the universe. Thank you. That'll be great. I am perfectly happy to work up through the wristband system again. Because then it'll at least give some direction to all the icon vomit. That's the main thing with me for Forza Horizon. Just because it really did become a thing that even Ubisoft open world games were embarrassed by for a bit.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. And Petehines has been blasting Microsoft lately. Uh,
Oh, really?
and
I
yeah,
didn't hear about that.
there was a huge interview that he gave, because I think he's confident in his retirement, with Kirk McKeon's Fireside chat, where he said that he quit because he basically tried to run Bethesda the way it should be, but really felt pushed out by Microsoft, who was not being very authentic. And
Yeah.
also was very reminiscent of his times in early Bethesda. I mean, he started in 1999. The guy has been around a lot and shipped a lot of games. He mainly stayed around to finish Starfield and then decided, you know what, I've had it. That's perfectly valid. I am glad he tried to fight for the company that he believed in. I understand, is all I'll really say about that. Um, as more turmoil seems to be coming to my work, but I'll let you know about that later. Anyway, um, it also reminds me of an article that I found where, with for the first Elder Scrolls, the developers were packaging and sending off the discs themselves. Like, not that every developer has to remain that small and homespun to be authentic, but I can definitely see how Starfield has been a bit of a turning point for people. Not because that game was bad or because it didn't do what it felt it needed to do ambitiously, but just because I think people were expecting a lot more out of the Bethesda formula by now. And if Xbox is going to search its soul again and start looking for ways to improve its customer reception, it has to do that at the level of the core franchise for all of its developers. Um, and I mean, like, I'm not sure what's in the pipeline other than Elder Scrolls 6 to fix that right now, because I think I read somewhere else that I don't remember exactly, uh, that if if you're a oh man, I accidentally put that back in. Um, if you're a developer who works on a specific game for a very long time, you can definitely over specialize. And that's what I'm worried is happening here with Bethesda and other studios, is that they may just be so locked in um, that new ideas may not feel like they can thrive uh, in a company culture where people are working under the threat of being laid off if some arbitrary metric isn't met. It's a lot of balancing act for sure um, for Xbox. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how they start off this year with Forza.
Mhm.
Um, and in the meantime, I'm just reading about this from Jess Corden that they might strip out Call of Duty from Game Pass. Which it's like, well, way to go with the anti-competitive move. Yeah, we're gonna potentially reduce Game Pass prices by taking out the games that would be impossible to make money from anyway.
Yeah, it's like either I mean, they're in a weird spot with that because like they they want their premier tier, they're still committing to, day one games, and it's like, well, that kind of has. Are you really going to carve out? So far, they haven't carved out the exception for Call of Duty. Then it's like, well, or I don't know. That's just such a weird asterisk to put on everything. Like, okay, we're gonna give you all the day one games except for Call of Duty, just because we know we're able. This is the one that we know we have a guaranteed cash cow anyways. So yeah, that's. I mean, if it does happen someday, I won't necessarily be surprised. Just like, and I
That'll
won't
just be the
even be
stake in the
like
heart.
disappointed in the fact that like I'm not really a huge Call of Duty fan, so it's not a huge loss for me if they do that. But it's just
Ah, I
like
got zampered by a car.
just
That's an accident.
yeah. And it's like if the only thing that I think could justify it is like a price decrease at the same time. If they have a price decrease that amounts to like what you would be paying for like a full price Call of Duty per year anyways, like then it's like okay, they can at least massage that messaging a little bit
Hmm.
if they do decide to do that. I think that would be the only thing that could really turn this into a neutral thing for them rather than a really bad idea.
Yeah, and it's part of what I
PR wise,
said
at
in
least.
a couple shows ago about how it is tough for them to really maneuver with this messaging because some people will get upset about that. After all, Call of
Yeah.
Duty was the Game Pass seller for a lot of people. Um,
And
but at the same
and like I
time, if
did
they're only playing that and not really other games and not really buying DLC, not really buying the season passes that are the battle passes or whatever that are shoved in your face constantly, then that's
yeah.
not really got a lot of upside for them.
Yeah, and I feel like also like having Call of Duty on Game Pass, like they did do that thing a few years ago where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take a break for a year," and then they changed their minds. Like I feel like you know that has to happen at some point. I don't know when,
It
but
does.
eventually the Call of Duty machine has to like take a small step back, and I don't know. Like I say it has to. It really doesn't have to, I guess, but then they're just gonna end up getting more of Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 7 where it's just
Speaking of
not
which, we'll
good.
be playing that momentarily, so stay
Yeah,
tuned,
and
everybody.
like I do enjoy the base gameplay enough. It's like I don't necessarily have to care about the story or anything. It's like, well, the gunplay is still fun. The level design is still decent enough. But do we really need this every year? Can we like just take oh, what am I doing? Fart like a human? Oh, I see. Okay, got it. I'm shooting these things. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, got it.
I failed. It is really fiddly,
Oh,
this mini game. It also seems to be very recent because
okay.
they keep updating this game constantly. It's okay. The day was pretty much close to being done anyway. Um, that brings me back to Petehines. He actually sent out a pretty scathing internal email about like, why are we being made exclusive when Call of Duty has to be multiplat? Uh, it
Yeah.
it really underscores this whole Call of Duty thing. Just how much indigestion the Activision Blizzard acquisition gave the whole Xbox proposition. Because once you had to make the argument for some games being multiplat, then it's like, well, what are we really doing here? Again, I think the cleanest way to have managed it would have been um, to say, look, all of our single player games are going to be exclusive. That's just how it is. And the multiplat games are going to be multiplat because we need the player base. That that's kind of what Sony was aiming for with things like Marathon, but the player base just keeps plummeting. So the team seems to be doing well, morale-wise, for the moment. I'm very nervous because I would love to try and get back into that game, but I don't know anybody who plays it and can do so on a consistent basis. And now I'm stuck with the Xbox version. So I have to hope that it's good, but at least I can keep it, whatever it is. Unlike what apparently is happening with Amazon Luna. Did you hear about that?
Oh, I did see a headline about that. Yeah, kind
Ugh.
of felt inevitable. They really
I,
de-emphasized it the
I mean,
past few years.
I wasn't really into Luna so much. It was something that I would find a game randomly on Prime or a Ubisoft Plus trial, and I would check it out for a little bit just to see how it was. Did some short videos of cloud gaming comparisons, and even when Xbox Cloud Gaming was bad, which it's much better now, apparently, according to a lot of people who played Call of Duty with it recently. It even then it was miles ahead of Luna in terms of responsiveness and just everything like that, including game selection. Because at least for cloud gaming service, you could argue, okay, there are exclusive IPs to that if you're in that tiny market that cares. And cloud gaming just really hasn't taken off like people, thought it would. Because I think gamers want to be able to have control more over their games instead of being like, oh, getting used to the idea of not owning your games, Ubisoft cough. Um, oh man, they broke my bathroom camera. Anyway, what stinks is that you really can't manage any purchase games unless you have another piece of hardware to play them on. But the kinds of people who bought games on Luna or Stadia are people who have decent internet connections but don't have the gaming hardware to play it. I mean, the kinds of speeds that they were talking about to be consistent with both of those would be owned by a gamer who would have a lot of hardware that could play these things. Oh no, the agents are hunting us. Okay, grab the alien mind wiper thingy. It's in
Where's
the
that
back.
again? Okay.
Quickly. Okay, grab right here where I am. Somebody ran in the
Oh, that's a
back
camera.
room and then ran backwards. Is that the cop? The AI for that seems to be very broken.
Wait, I don't even know what happened. I just got zapped through. Like there was an
Uh,
agent on the outside, and they hit me through a wall.
well, I got
Okay.
plorbed
Well,
again. That's a perfect way to end that.
yeah.
Double porta potties. I think overall with this game, it's really, really good. It's just that they really need to clarify what the end game is about. And I think they will. I trust these developers. The fact that they have a retail simulator loop that's just as addictive as Ravenous Devil's Endless Mode was in a very similar kind of cat and mouse format of, oh, you don't want to get caught by the cops, what is really great here too. And in that format, I also put up with some bugs that are still here to this day. Like invisible cops, like just arresting you for no reason, or no, wait, invisible bodies that you then have to shoulder invisibly and then lock the camera and you can't zoom out or switch floors or anything. Um so the fact that they haven't fixed that is not great, I will say, but a fun gameplay loop like this can compensate for a lot, is my point. And so far, it seems like this game has had quite a bit of a fun gameplay loop because I've played it for at least a dozen hours and not getting bored. I mean, a lot of that gameplay has been, again, on mute while talking to you, or listening to Project Hail Mary, because for some reason, a game about aliens on Earth is a perfect accompaniment to an audiobook about meeting aliens from Earth. I mean, at least the video games are fun, and they are distracting me to some degree from all of the terrible crap.
Yeah.
Both within the real world and within the delusional mind palace of Wahida Zal, who, get this, said that my friend Dale husband wanted to sleep with me with no evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both engaged to other people, asshat. That is absolutely defamation. And also, he now thinks I'm in Mossad.
Oh. That's a leap.
Yeah! Because apparently he does this to anyone who criticizes him at all for any reason. Eventually, he makes you part of a gigantic global conspiracy. So I wonder if he'll think that maybe you're my handler or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think we watched this scene already.
Yeah, we did.
We got to the gameplay bit.
At least
All I remember
to
is
see the harbor, I guess.
Poison gas in the weird Avalon place.
Nothing, sir.
Well, he would fit it right in with the world of Black Ops 7, where there actually are massive global cabals everywhere. Yeah, the Epstein stuff is pretty bad, and there is definitely a worldwide network of pedophiles.
Bad news.
But a lot of people have been using that as a stand-in for Jews, and I am very annoyed about all of that.
On our way.
Including him.
I hijacked a guild comms channel.
And then anytime you criticize the
Open fire.
like, oh, shut up, Whitey. Well, here on my platform, I don't have it. And, well, we'll see how the contempt hearing goes on April 17th. But I'm pretty sure that I'll win that one, too. And that's when I will try and sip him. And the reason that I'm doing this, when I know that these kinds of cases are hard to win, is because if you cannot stop someone from saying without evidence that you're in fucking Mossad, potentially ruining your employment for the rest of your life because you have to explain this every time, then what is the law for, exactly? I mean, apparently it's to protect the President of the United States and his buddies a lot of the time. But some shred of the rule of law still has to exist, right?
We lost her.
Search area shrinks as you do that. Okay. So it's basically a Warzone objective here. Got it.
Grotto's beneath the town.
Where the hell is she shooting from?
They're closing in on
Oh
the
boy.
grotto. I'm pinned down. Can use some backup.
Hang tight.
Definitely will need some backup at Objective Charlie. Okay, I'm kidding. It does feel very multiplayer map-ish. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I heard about this campaign. It's because it's all co-op, you kind of have to... Oh, I didn't realize I was low in health. Okay, I'm down
Speaking of
a little
co-op,
bit past you. Yeah, because, you know, when you're designing something co-op, you kind of have to make it a little bit wider, more spread out. And
Definitely.
Corridors. Alright, I'm ambling toward you.
I'm dead.
Oh well. Okay.
They really just
That's alright.
got lucky from that vantage point. Oh well. No biggie. So yeah, to balance all that, while I'm announcing we're working on video editing lessons in CapCut for a customer. Like, somebody's actually paying me for this. I'm proud to announce History Flights Kids, which will be 4 lessons in CapCut so far, with kid-friendly clips and a fun time, learning all sorts of neat tricks. That's my hope. Though that will be the lessons that I make mostly for myself, and then it's kind of as a template. The actual thing will be a live hands-on call. The customer's kid. So yeah, really looking forward to that over the next few weeks. And well, I think that after we play, well, I don't know what your availability looks like. We'll figure that out. But after I play Hades 2 and mousepiforhire, which I just pre-ordered, $30 is a little steep, but this game looks fantastic. It looks like BioShock Infinite with mice, and but with the actual BioShockness of the abilities and weapons, and I am so here for it. Yeah, with that, and Hades 2 coming out next week, I gotta do a show on those at least, whether you're available or not. Then there's Kiln on the 23rd.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, I don't know if you checked out the beta or not.
Oh, there's a beta.
I think it's going now. I don't know how long it's going for. I didn't download it yet. I just saw it was available.
Oh. How long is it available for, do you know?
I have no idea.
Huh.
I just saw when I got home this evening. I was like, oh, Kiln has a beta going. Okay.
Seems like they are very confident in this game. And that once you try it out, the game will speak for itself. Because I think I mentioned that it looks interesting.
Enemy.
You know, especially the creativity and how you make your pots, but I'm still just worried about limited variety of game modes. And so that one game mode has to be really, really addicting with really good gameplay to stand up. And not become a hot guard where you try to make it stand on its own with one game mode, but then that one game mode doesn't really hold up and the whole thing falls apart. I mean, you would think that a multiplayer game on Game Pass would be a no-brainer, but they did think that for Bleeding Edge too, and now that's being used to test AI with, so...
They're on me.
No game is guaranteed anymore, and even with Double Fine's pedigree, because this is their first multiplayer game, as far as I'm aware anyway, that focused on that anyway. So
The first competitive multiplayer game for sure.
oh yeah, right, I think you did say that Quest had like co-op or whatever.
I could be wrong about that. I honestly forget.
I'm hit.
I'll look it up
I know they
later
had
when
some.
I'm dead
Oh,
again.
I'm down too.
I got
Yeah, me too.
Darn, this is a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah, I just haven't been paying enough attention to the enemies around me, honestly.
Me either. I mean, I've been doing fairly well. It's just that, like, I haven't been coordinating with them. Coordinating attacks on them, excuse me, with you. It's been a long fucking week. The world almost ended because of Orange Man's tirades again.
incoming fire.
And then he tacoed for the billionth time. And I'm glad he did. But it's like, oh my god, can I not live in a country that's in an embarrassment stage right now? I mean, no country can be on top of the world and be an empire forever. But I'd like the US to still be in the mix. Because, like, I don't want the entire economy to collapse and me being unable to support my family. You know, just your usual week-to-week anxieties, I guess. Yeah, I am also... Oh, I'm glad that my parents have hybrids that work well for them for their entire commutes because they haven't been as affected by gas prices. I want this to accelerate the transition away from oil, but I don't want people to be in economic pain because of it, and yet it seems like that's going to be what happens. I guess some pain is going to be what needs to happen unless we want to start stocking up on food for the summer, you know? Because I've been hearing stuff about that. I don't think it's going to be
They're on me.
like the end of the world
Hostile grenade.
if oil remains really constricted.
They're pushing on it.
But a lot of things do rely on petroleum, and so the economic effects are difficult to gauge, especially since it seems like the ceasefire is another one of those, oh yeah, we're saying it's a ceasefire for political gain, but we also don't really agree on what the ceasefire is, so it's like, why are you calling it a ceasefire at all then if you clearly don't understand what either side wants? But, well, I'm not a State Department
They're on me.
ambassador or whatever, or a diplomat of any kind. And glad I'm not, because I almost went into the School of International Service, and I'd be out of a job right now for petty political crap. Oh, sorry, that was me. Did you fall down to your death?
No, I went down to the grotto where we're supposed to get to.
Oh.
There's a little rope thing.
I'm hit.
Oh, okay, that's where that is. That's part of why I got confused earlier, is because of that. But... okay. Objective engaged, waiting for squad. Huh.
Okay, there we
So
go.
far, we haven't identified the gas or any potential treatments.
I'm sure
Civilians
Gears
in
will
Avalon weren't
be
as lucky as
an
you guys.
amazing co-op experience.
Somehow we survived.
Far better with
Yeah,
completely
it always
objective.
is.
I don't think
Yeah.
Cage
Also,
expected.
I'm hearing rumors that
Maybe our
Halo
insider has answers.
is coming out in July.
He went dark just after you arrived.
That would be interesting.
But
I
get
mean,
this,
if they have
the
it
guild
that
keeps
close after
biometric
the
data on all its staff.
big showcase.
They're tracking their movements,
Yeah,
controlling
I
access
could
to
see that
sensitive
being
facilities,
a shadow
people,
drop or
vehicles,
shortly after.
You name it.
Yeah, like I don't think they're
Our
gonna.
hands on
I don't
the
think it's gonna be
biometrics
day and
used
date, like
in
right
our
after the
guide.
showcase, but to have it like
guild
as a
hasn't found
summer
them
game,
already.
that would be very
We
interesting.
better find him first.
That would be a very great way to kick off Xbox 25. Along with, okay,
So what's next?
now I remember what I was going to say.
We need to extract
All the
enough biometric
mysterious,
chips from
along
cadavers
with
to
all of the
develop a baseline.
mysterious
Then we
Xbox
search
games
for our
that got
insider.
relisted and then delisted
Yeah,
again
there's a bunch of dead assholes around
from
here.
backwards compatibility
Not those
times.
bodies. Soldiers
Oh,
don't have
really?
the biochips we
Because
need.
I hadn't considered
I'll need
that
to
as
identify
a big
targets
way
with
that they
active
could get
chips.
back into
I
Xbox core
marked a
fans'
supply cache on
graces.
your map. I'll search
But
for targets while you
It
grab
seems
it.
like
I'll be
something is
providing you
happening
guys
with the
with mission
backwards
tech
compatibility
support,
team.
Whatever you need.
I know
Yeah,
that they had
I
to
hope
be
that's
brought
more
back
than.
for compatibility testing for the next Xbox, but sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I definitely hope that's more than just like a whatever
was something
internal
back there.
tests
Seeing
for
Menendez
technical
again?
reasons. I hope that's actually a sign
I
of
saw him die in hate,
something
didn't I?
happening with that,
Am I
because
losing
that was
my
definitely
fucking
my
mind?
favorite thing that they've done in the past
I've
decade.
been asking myself the same
Like,
thing.
and again, that was something they did in 2015 when their fortunes were kind of at a very low point, where that was just a very fan pleasing move, and it worked out, and it engendered a lot of goodwill at the time. So I think kind of going back to that
Incoming
well
fire!
would not be a bad idea.
And now
Getting
they have.
more.
Well, and now they have a lot more publishing rights. They can
Exactly,
do a
like
little more
there's
goodwill
plenty
with.
from like the Activision back catalog, even just that they could pull from. A lot of that isn't even like tied up
They're
in
on me.
licensing. Like I think there's at least a few 360 era Crash games that never came to backwards compatibility. There's Bethesda stuff like Wet and other stuff that I'm probably not thinking of. Some of the old Wolfenstein stuff.
Yeah, Wolfenstein
Like-
2009 would be a huge.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Raven Software
I mean,
one.
they
yeah.
own the publisher at the time and the developer at the time, so I don't see what the
Yeah.
holdup would be. And if they have a Wolfenstein 3, it'd be nice to be like, oh, Xbox is the home for everything Wolfenstein, and you can play it on your thingy or your PC with the backwards compatibility hardware chip enabled or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a mild disappointment for me if the backwards compatibility stuff is just PC compatibility, just because that doesn't really apply to me. But I would be mostly interested in just more games. And
Yeah, definitely.
if they ever manage to get like a universal backwards compatibility, so it doesn't have to be on a per game basis, that would be like the ideal situation. I kind of doubt that'll ever happen in the near term. But
And if it does, but due to licensing reasons, they probably would need to be like, okay, here's the raw emulator. Just in dev mode, pop in whatever disc you want and see what happens, I guess.
exactly, like it doesn't even have to be like. I mean, the advantage of the way that they've gone about it is that they can get a lot of free upgrades, like, you know, FPS boost or auto HDR and stuff. That stuff's great, but I would just take a bare bones universal solution at this point for whatever's missing due to licensing or whatever.
That's difficult without the hardware chips in them.
Exactly. That's why I mean, like, I don't see it happening anytime soon or anything. But that would be like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy it if it's gonna be specific to this new piece of hardware. That alone to me is worth buying a new piece of hardware, because especially for like my original Xbox games, I still have an original Xbox kicking around. That thing, the model I have is from 2002, so it's approaching 25 years old. So, hardware at that point feels like it's on a ticking time clock there. Oh, I'm down. I'm going to crawl to the side away from the enemies.
Incoming fire!
So just being able to get that stuff in official capacity on newer hardware would be amazing. Because there's still quite a bit missing, especially in the original Xbox library.
Right, definitely. That feels like
a lot of stuff that
started to do something with it, and then couldn't really.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that like I don't see them ever going through like the licensing work, like unless they were to like get the best team of lawyers and contract writers in the world to like get some of those old sports games or some of like licensed games like the Simpsons games re-released on there. I don't like a lot of that stuff. If they were to ever implement a backwards compatibility solution, a lot of it would just have to be like disc only, which would also reinvigorate like the collector scene.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see how they handle physical games, but 3 things for me. 1, as I've mentioned to you a few times, but for those who don't know, in order to get 360 backwards compatibility working at all, they had to include some sound chips from the original 360 in the hardware of the Xbox One. So it'll be interesting to see what work they've done to get that working on the PC level. I know Xenia has been doing some great work these past few years, but that's an unofficial effort, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, like I'm all for the unofficial stuff too, but like at the end of the day, like I have all these games. I have a pretty big collection on disc, and I have like in some cases like game saves that I could carry over potentially for the 360 games. So
that would be pretty great if they could get that working.
To just have it in official capacity would be like.
Doing some waste management.
So what I'm expecting at the most is just more like small batches of new games being added. That would be more than enough for me. I'm definitely not expecting it to be some universal solution, but that would be very welcome as well.
Well, speaking of welcome, the 2 sets of licensed games that would blow my mind if they came to backwards compatibility are the original Xbox and Xbox 360 Spider-Man games.
I'm done.
Because then that would be huge for me. I'd be able to play the Spider-Man games without having to get more hardware. Anyway, you were saying.
And for me, I do have like most, if not all of those. So if they had a disk drive in the new system, even if it's like an external disk drive, whatever, and you could just universally play that stuff through there, that would just be like amazing.
I'm scanning something.
Really not expecting that to happen, but that would just be like that would justify whatever price they decide to charge for it to me.
Yeah, it might to me too, especially if it's closer to $1,000 all in, even with the disk drive. Oh no!
I come back in 30 seconds, so just stay alive.
Yeah, I think we just need to collect biometric data anyway in the building that we cleared out. Oh, there we go. You're dead. Saying that to a random enemy, not you. I knew you were already dead. But the big game that I would love to have, and I've complained about this a few times, is Singularity. Like,
oh yeah.
Seriously, people need to at least get into high concept shooters again. Even if this game is probably not the best example of that compared to, say, BioShock. The fact that it tackled some really interesting themes around Soviet history, with an alt-hist style and time travel. I don't normally like time travel. I hate BioShock Infinite for that. But the way this game handled time travel when I saw it in YouTube videos back in the day was super interesting, with a lot of different choices. Let me grab this. I have now bought this game twice on PC. Once on Steam, where it refused to launch, like at all, and another time on GOG, where at least it opened, but then it kept crashing after the opening cutscene finished, and there was nothing I could do.
Incoming fire!
So that just sucked. And that's just the way it is with old PC games sometimes. I haven't even touched Fear that way for that exact reason. Sure, I have it, but do I really have it?
Biometric data upload.
I mean, would I want to buy that game on disc?
Lucky.
Again,
Ship
for
was kept
360,
offline.
probably
Got it
not.
just in time.
I had fun when I played it, though.
We're close to building a
And
data
I would love
program,
if it
so
was
we need one
relisted.
more.
I would love if Arkham
Gonna have to
Origins
find
was
one last target.
relisted,
Give me a few.
so I could
Yeah, and
get it to keep forever.
Back up to the water treatment
yeah, I mean, if you ever want to borrow that,
Arrow
you
in
have
my
that.
hair.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Watch out for the VTOL!
that's the nice thing about having a friend with a bunch of disc games. But I'm selling all the physical games that I currently have in DC. I brought a couple of my Wii-related games home, like Rock Band and Nintendo Land. I am not gonna be playing at all for the life of me with my family. I didn't manage to play any of the Wii U when I was
Mark
up
the
there
last target on the map.
because my family
We need it if we
was
want access
very
to the
much
Guild
into watching a
biometric
bunch of stuff
database.
and that kind of thing. But it was still fun to play what I did, and I managed to get the Wii U set up in my room after they had left it unplugged in a pile of cords and stuff. So, I'm looking forward to finally playing Star Fox Zero some
They're on
more,
me.
for instance. And, I had also thought to maybe go to Super Mario Galaxy, but it doesn't look like it's good enough to justify the ticket price.
Yeah, I might be going to see it on Sunday. Very much just out of like perfunctory obligation at this point because I really didn't care for the first one. It's like, well, I love Mario Galaxy, so I at least want to see the movie for just the name reason, honestly.
I'm just punching this guy in the butt.
You alright, mate?
Okay.
Oh, that revive time is very slow. Okay.
I'm back in.
It wasn't like that last time. But then again, we weren't basically plopped on Warzone last time. Either. Where are you? Enemies.
There's just one guy. There's a shield guy down in the middle of where we were. I think we can kill him. We probably can get the last biometric thing.
Speaking of shield guys, I've been dealing with a lot of shield robots in deadzonerogue, which is definitely been taking over my random gameplay, live, die, repeat sort of game. I thought Super Meat Boy would be that, and it kind of is, because I'm just like, I have no chance of focusing on several of these types of games, like Monster Train 2 or what have you. But deadzonerogue is just so much fun. I really
Yeah, I've
hope it
had
gets
that wish
console port.
listed, and I think I just pulled it up because it's on sale during their spring sale.
Oh wait, it is
So-
on console?
Yeah.
Huh. I
It's
think
on
I'll buy that
Xbox.
again.
I've had it wish listed.
I think I'll buy that again then. Just to play a co-op with you.
Oh, I see. There we go.
Because that would be the one thing that I've been missing with that amazing game otherwise, is just somebody to play with. At least yeah, that'd be really great.
Biometric data uploaded.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I do
Baseline
buy it. I think
matched.
it's on
Linked
sale
into
for
the
like
guild's
17
biometric
Oh,
bucks
I've
or
been
something.
being electrocuted somehow. Ow.
Yeah, there's drones
Yeah, well, we
dropping
need to locate
electric
our
stuff in
insider.
the water. I shot a
Almost.
couple of them
I've
down.
got our insider's biosignature.
It's a good thing that
but
we're
no
basically
rock in his
immune
real-time
to
location.
chemical
We'll
and
need to
electrical
sweep the
damage
area, tighten the read.
after a little bit.
Gonna have to
Because
find something to gain
we really
altitude
went
for a
through
clear
it with the
signal.
drugs last time.
In the meantime,
We should be in the hospital several times over
That'll help.
from all the hallucinogenics that were pumped into our system. And now electric shocks. But whatever. Onwards with the mission. Anyway. Let's see. I've also been hearing good things about the movie Exit 8. I don't know what the game is that it's based off of, but have you heard anything about
Oh
this?
yeah, that's a game that got popular a couple years ago. It's almost like if when I saw some footage of it, it felt like almost it was aping like the PT style of going through endless hallways.
Download
But
complete.
you're basically
jumps
going
again.
through.
Anyway.
Wingsuit
Oh
operational
yeah, the
assets
wingsuit.
acquired.
Okay. We're
Upgrades.
going like
We could use
you
these.
go through
Put a little
like
spring in our step.
I don't know that much about it because I've never played it myself, but
Altitude
You,
key to
like,
lock
go
in the insider's
through
signal.
subway
There's an incoming VTOL. Landing spots just up ahead.
tunnels, not
I can
tunnels,
breach its
like
system, but
subway
I need you to be
exits,
close.
looking for like anomalous behavior and stuff. That's
I
my
see.
understanding.
I see.
But
I'll
I
definitely
don't-
look up the
I
game
don't know
later.
much about it beyond that.
That's not
Yeah,
the kind of
there's-
game I would
there's,
be
like-
really interested in, but that could be a fun movie. I like horror
Yeah.
movies.
I don't
And the
think
back
it's on.
No, it's in theaters right now. And same with the Backrooms pretty soon. I haven't really been following the lore or played any games like that, but well, I'm glad that SCP, Backrooms, all that sort of internet legend stuff is becoming more mainstream. Because SCP just announced another game, Go Home Alice, I believe it's
Hop on
called,
so I
where
can
you're
override the VTOL.
a subject D. The unfortunate human
Protect
fodder.
the VTOL while I hack it.
Oh, okay.
I'm tapped in, ready for takeoff.
I'm just gonna look this up real quick.
If any of you are still on foot, try
Make
to
sure I know the name.
Gonna fly through the signal hotspot to get a clear read on his location.
Go Home Annie, an SCP game. I was close.
VTOL needs
It
to
was
stay
still
in the air just long enough
a
to
name
lock
with an
its
A on it. Oh, so now we have an escort mission. Cool. Or
It's a
slash
terrible
turret
gun
mission.
for this, so I'm gonna be no help.
Just trying to follow the signal waves.
I keep
First
thinking there's a
hotspot's coming
grenade
up over
there,
our
and
car
then
factory.
there's not.
Protect the VTOL
It's
while I
just
scan for
a
the
throw
signal.
down the turret sort of thing, I guess. Which makes me think, oh, well, that could be helpful.
Signal zone is shrinking. Gonna
Maybe
fly
that's part
into
of why they
that
gave you
hotspot.
that equipment.
They're coming in heavy.
But like, yeah,
We're
in
almost
Deadzone
there.
Rogue, you can pick up barrels telekinetically and then throw them. You go invisible for, well, for the first time they
We got
enter a
another
room
hit.
until
I
you
just
attack.
get coordinates.
And
Not gonna make it.
there's actually a perk I found where, oh. Okay, so that was scripted, got it.
Yeah.
I thought we mission failed, but
Section, you alright?
Rough landing, but we made it. That signal, any stronger?
I've got him.
for all the
signal's coming
50
from the
feet
ship
that
yard.
we actually rode that VTOL,
That's
it was
bad.
kind of fun.
I don't know yet. Get eyes
I
on the
would
ship
really
yard
love
before
to
you
find
go
a better
in. There's
gun.
an overlook ahead.
But yeah, all the guns sound really meaty and feel really good, whether hip fired or zoomed in. The perks are really cool. So far I've only managed to like get close to the end of the first zone, there are 30 sectors per zone, it seems. And so,
Confirmed. Our inside.
I'm looking forward to seeing how much easier or harder it is with us that way.
Could
Let
be
me,
hiding, injured,
if it is
or...
on the spring sale, let me just check it out. So that might just be a no-brainer for me.
Don't follow me, Dave. You don't want any part of this.
Even though I didn't get a tax
We lit-
refund this time.
Yeah. Just
Anyway,
some old memories. Let's move to find this guy. He's got to know something about that tox.
I thought the Xbox port was gonna be some ways away.
We need to secure the
Oh,
area
for
before
16
going-
bucks? No-brainer.
fingers, he's still breathing.
Okay.
I'm totally getting that. If you're available next week around the time of
We can
the
use those bridges.
release
Let's
of
drop him down.
mousepiforhire,
Hell
so next Thursday, then we could talk together about that.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
I
let you
get
know
my
if I do buy
impressions.
it. I just don't know if I
Yeah.
have it in my budget at the moment,
Yeah, if
but I have it wish listed.
not, we'll do Sea of Thieves while I talk about Hades 2 and mousepiforhire with gameplay of both next week. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more episodes of SunnyRedemption Sailing. Let's finish out this mission, I guess.
Yeah,
Because-
I was kind of wondering if this
Incoming
even
fire!
like that robot just one hit me. Hold on, there's a robot in there.
Oh god. Oh boy. Okay, let me revive you.
Get the fuck off! We need every hand.
Let me know if you see any guns at all, because right now I'm almost out of ammo for my terrible gun that I'm like getting nothing out of.
Right here, there's an ammo resupply.
Okay. Well, I'll take the ammo, I guess. I really just want a different gun.
I guess just check any number of enemies.
I've been looking.
There hasn't been really much design flow to any of this level, though. So it's
No,
very
it's mostly
difficult
just
to
a
tell.
bunch of wide open plazas.
Exactly. They literally just popped open the Warzone map and called it a day. With a few objectives and some bots. Which I guess is fine if you're crunched and you need to get these things done super quickly. Oh, and I forgot they also have the armor mechanic. But we only get one armor slot. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but you find more. Let me look up here. I just feel like a lot of these vantage points and stuff, I'm expecting to find something, and there's just never anything of value.
Yeah, nope. I mean, again, it's fun
like
in a
they're-
mindless way.
They're employing like this vertical design, and they're giving us like this high jump and the wingsuit, and then nothing to actually do with it in terms of looking around the level.
I
So
guess
far, at least.
there's vantage points that you can take advantage of, but mostly the enemies are on the ground. There were some route-bound enemies earlier, but we were in a freaking VTOL, and there just wasn't much to any of it. It's like, oh yay, you went on the carnival ride for 50 feet and then it exploded. I think those are reinforcements coming in.
They're on me.
Crap. Those robots should really wreck your face. Oh, that's also giving me bad flashbacks to melee robot enemies in deadzonerogue. Being hit in the
Incoming
face like
fire!
that. Oh gosh. Oh, what's also surprising is that game is fairly funny. Mostly what you kind of expect from an amnesiac super soldier. But he's quippy enough to be endearing without it getting old. And the quips are limited to your area, your starting area, where you can like talk to a plant for an achievement and things of that nature.
Yep.
So there is a bit of a story there, but it doesn't seem like it's anything more than you would expect regarding robot uprisings in space. But with some interesting little jokes here and there about, oh, let me thank the CEO for my free ticket up here, and that kind of corporatist nonsense that we are experiencing right now.
Shield got heavy defenses by the dock.
I'm hoping my turrets can help. Well, so that was easy. Surprisingly. Now I guess we just secure this container and then have to defend it for an arbitrary amount of time. Or
That sounds about right.
that's just a cutscene. Which is fine by me too. So again, I'm happy to go through like a mission of this every time we play, whether we're online or
Bodies got hit with the same
not.
shit the guild hit us with.
But
We got a live one.
oh. Well. Guild Insider, huh?
Just hang in there. Karma, gonna need a medevac.
It's no use, Mason.
Say again, Karma?
Oh no, I think we're about to go into drug world again.
You're all dead.
Frank?
Who else would it be?
There must have been drugs in the bodies
Woods?
somehow.
What's happening?
Menendez did this. I'm going after him, Mason. This is my fight. Don't follow me.
The hell we won't.
Everybody form up.
Whoa. A second ago we were in Avalon, man. Where's the informant? None of this can be real.
Woods needs us.
David Woods is dead.
We're going after Woods. End of discussion.
We're following my sociopathic delusion. End of discussion. Yeah, that's pretty much what he well, anyhow, I am definitely looking forward to snagging deadzonerogue again for myself.
We still
at minimum. And
somehow.
what day might you be free?
This hallucination ends.
I think my next day would probably be Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what?
I know when one of those days is your Survivor Day, though, right?
Wednesday. That is the day that we watch Survivors. So if we're gonna play, then it's definitely Tuesday. I think that what I can do, I will record my impressions of Hades 2 with you, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm super stoked about mousepiforhire for this reason, and add the rest of the video later. That's fine.
Gear. 1980.
Sure.
But in any case,
This unit never left
well,
Angola.
you have a good one,
Sure of it.
and thank you all for sailing with SunnyRedemption. You have a good night.
All right. Yeah. See ya.
All right, bye bye.